looks like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Oh right, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. I'm rolling in your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you mean. Why you chase the crooks and I take the lead? Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on the name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no insight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm the VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your minds all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Shizzy Daddy, all in your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Welcome everybody. How are you doing this evening, man? Oh man, do we have some fun stuff for you tonight? Oh my gosh, yesterday it was your birthday. Well, you know, we've got something for you right about here. Here we go. It is this one right here. Oh yeah. Happy birthday, Dawn.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. It is your day. Happy
That's a beautiful
birthday
thing.
to you.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing tonight? Oh, and Max, hey Max, how you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you guys are wondering why you're not seeing the helmet, well, that helmet has been sent off. It is going to be featured at some point. Don't know when, because you know, mail takes a while to get there. But it's going to be featured at some point in time in one of the Hale's auctions. Keep an eye out for it because it'll be coming. Just saying, keep an eye out for it. And I sent it off, and I'm hoping that goes to something really nice and helps out somebody really well. So just like I said, keep an eye out for it. It is no longer, I've retired the helmet, and hopefully some lucky person is going to be able to acquire that if they're able to. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Hey, how you doing? Wendy Bender says, hello, Shizzy Daddy, 18 months. Well, hello to you. And all I can say is, as always,
welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. bullocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Oh, yes. Nice. Nice. No new helmet yet. No new helmet yet. Will I ever get a new helmet? We'll see. We'll see if a new helmet does come about. And I'm hoping that, you know, at some point we can incorporate that into something more enjoyable. But there will be no helmet for a bit. That's all I'm saying. Just you know that is a one of a kind. It is a one of a kind piece, and only one place you're going to be able to find it. So keep an eye out for it, and hear what it's going to be used for. That's what I'm looking forward to. Oh my gosh! Yeah. So crazy stuff afoot. Now, the thing is somebody called this to my attention a while back, and the reason I say this is because personally I don't care. Personally, I really don't care. Apparently Lips or somebody. I'm assuming that it's Lips because, and once you understand, whenever I start showing you these following documents, it's a chain of events that constantly happens over and over and over and over again. This is typical behavior of someone like Lips. The way that she acts, the way that she misbehaves. It is so crazy. And I can't even begin to tell you until you start digging into the documents what exactly it shows. And I'll be digging in through those today. Christine has been here for 22 months. Give it another 2 months. And she will have been here for a year. And this is for you.
Welcome to the shit show.
Welcome,
Every
Christine.
single day.
Yeah.
A new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. And all over again.
Yes, most definitely. And Kirby says, you are 60 years old today. I'm sad my dog got out of their fence, and last sighting was Friday night. I need a Shizzywhiznut distraction. Well, I do have one for you, Kirby. Tonight, you guys get to see something that, and this is only going to show you a portion of it because the whole thing isn't completely done yet. But this is a new one off of another album that's going to be coming out probably next month once I get all the music put together on it. And I think it is something that you guys might enjoy. This is something I put together. It's called Toyland Blues.
Toys scattered around the room, what a sight to see. From G.I. Joes to Barbie dolls, they're all staring back at me. In this dusty old attic where memories lie, I grab my trusty harmonica, let out a soulful cry. Little green army men, standing tall and proud. They fought battles in the backyard back when I was just a child. But now they're covered in cobwebs, forgotten in the years, the magic they once held. Now lost in ancient tears, I delve into the dungeons where dragons used to roam. With my imagination, it felt just like home. Tall tales of wizardry with spells and magic rings, but now those enchanted moments are just distant childhood dreams. Little green army men backyard back when I was just a child, but now they're covered in cobwebs.
Welcome, Linda.
Forgotten in the years, the magic they once held, now lost in ancient tears. I delve into the dungeons where dragons used to roam. With my imagination, it felt just like home. Tall tales of...
All right, that's all you guys get of that. Keep an eye out for it because I do have more. On that one, but that's all I'm going to show you guys tonight. So keep an eye out. That one will probably be showing up next month. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good one. Maybe not, says you're too sick to play tonight. I'm sorry, maybe. Yeah, no wheel spins tonight. No wheel spins tonight. But I will tell you, we will do something in November because it's going to be you're a butthead. It's all working. It happens. Yeah, it's I've got some stuff that I'm going to be doing next month. I will probably be doing a anniversary stream. That means it'll be 3 years I've been on the YouTubes and been doing this wonderful stuff. And maybe not, you definitely need to get some rest. And maybe not with the 20 gifted memberships. Holy cow, you can slipping that thing in there right tonight. Holy moly. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That goes a lot. All these folks out there, members, by the way, you'll be able to see any videos, like music videos that I put out prior. So if you're a new member here, go check out the new videos. There's a whole bunch that'll be coming up. Next week there'll be a new one, and the following week I have a new one, and maybe if I can get these other ones done, the other ones will be coming out. And you get to feeling better, maybe not. I appreciate it. And thank you very much. This is for you.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. 'Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. All over again.
Oh, excellent. That's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, and also remember, hit the like button. It goes a long way on this. I really appreciate every single one of you. So now going back to what I was saying is there's a interesting website. I don't know if it's still up, and somebody else pointed it out to me and said, hey, you realize that there's a website out there that claims that Lips is past. I was like, nah, I don't believe that for a second. I mean, you would think that would be all over the place. People would be talking about it. Well, nobody was talking about it. Like nobody paid any attention to it. And at some point in time, it was found out that somebody else was giving this shout out about it over on the ain't tell what the hell's ecosystem. Hey, Jibber, it's good to see you over there on the Rumble side. And it was one of those kinds of things that I wasn't paying any attention to it. I just assumed that they're playing around the same way that they always play around. And what I'm going to show you tonight is the kind of games that I've always called into question. Why would you have somebody file all of these kinds of lawsuits and then drop them and bring up new lawsuits and then drop them and then create other lawsuits and then drop them and cause problems and then drop it and then start websites and then drop them and create new websites and then drop them. Tizzy the Bounce. Yeah, hey, Tizzy, yes. And if you haven't checked out Tizzy's breakdown of the fence, oh, it is glorious. She did a great job on that, Tizzy. And I hope they didn't pull that and kick it out of there. If they did, just fix whatever issue it is, and you can usually get that stuff right back up. But hey, it's good to see you, Tizzy. I'm glad to see you. And keep growing that channel. Really, keep growing the channel. You'll find it gets easier over time. Tizzy's videos are great. I know. It is good. They live off to drama. Yeah, CJ, that is absolutely true. And this is the problem of But whenever I say this, it's only because these are things that I've noticed since I've been doing the YouTube thing, and I have never seen it as prominent, except in these kinds of situations where a narrative gets created, and you're going, well, what exactly is the issue that's going on here? And you got things like this, that there's a, you know, Lips sues the Florida bar and the Supreme Court. And the amount of claims in this, we've got 28 pages of things. And all it does is say that, you know, there's a 92 report of the Commission of Evaluation of Lawyers Disciplinary Action. It was meant to eliminate local disciplinary enforcement, trying to bring up issues that are non-issues in a lawsuit. You know, and it's one of these kinds of things that she says the plaintiff terminated her paralegal who criminally extorted her, stole property of her law firm, and having the knowledge of plaintiff was unpopular with elder law community for her work in exposing fraud with guardianships. The plaintiff's former paralegal joined up with an elder law attorney where they engaged in campaign to destroy the plaintiff's career by recruiting former clients of the plaintiff to file voluminous bar complaints against the plaintiff in exchange for free legal representation. Which, whenever this all started coming about, at some point in time, this is what happens in these kinds of things, and it's order screening complaint, dismissing case. I mean, these are the kinds of issues that end up running into, you know, after a period of time, because it's not falling through. You know, and then of course they create a second amended verified complaint. Like, they'll create one, and before you can even answer it, they file another one, and then file another one, and then file another one. And as you can see, it's a bunch of paperwork. We're talking, this one here has 38 pages, and if you look, there's nothing of substance in here. It's important to note staff investigator who was assigned a case by Florida, David Pennell, owns a private local investigation company that has remained active during the plaintiff's investigation, servicing local attorneys in the same country where he investigates attorney discipline. Furthermore, the plaintiff discovered that he made false reports against her during the investigation. And see, these are the kinds of claims that whenever you look at them on the surface, it's just like, and everybody's going, oh, that's garbage. The person's just doing their job. It's no different than someone that works for ABC Legal, comes in, files, you know, says, listen, we're trying to serve this person, but she files a lawsuit against them claiming that they're harassing her. Okay. So who exactly is the harasser in these cases? And we start bringing up things like this, like bully exterminators that came in. You know, this is the kind of stuff that was brought in here. And then who does Bully's exterminator did it come from? Well, it was owned by the same person that created this one here. As you see, the date 4/27, they created Bully Exterminators, and then they linked my Shizzywhiznut.com to this, which I've never had anything to do with this. And you say, well, why would somebody do something like that? Why would somebody bring in those kinds of things? And here's a simple thing. They wanted in on this from the get-go. And this was sent to me by somebody, and I'm not giving out their name on it, but they sent this to me. This is something that they sent to them. They said, hello, do you have a phone number where I can call you? I'm going to start going through court documents and downloading various filings that you mentioned to help with my investigation. You seem very knowledgeable, and I want to make sure I'm getting the full story. Let me know. Look forward to hearing from you. Best wishes. And they respond back in May. So they sent it 5/14, respond back in May, and then says, greetings, I caught your video over the What the Hale's case with Volpe and Bluthman. I am a completely neutral party in this case, been following it for a few years, but I want to do the research in the case before getting more involved, and others will be emailing you also, perhaps. It all started in Levy County, giving them basically a breakdown. Says there's 3 cases so far. Then, because of the behavior of Lynette, John Cook, Jeremy Hales, his partner George, have protective orders in Ohio due to the fact of the Levy County Sheriff will not do anything. Then we saw first Florida Judge DeThomas's, Judge Grudge, who's been reprimanded. And they give her a full breakdown of all of the cases that are happily going on. What we know about her is she's a grifter, aka scammer, with the other formed with the Hale's ecosystem formed by Bruce Matskin, which most of them have been named in a federal lawsuit. Her husband is a felon for running a roofing scam out of Florida and on federal parole. They need money to pay off all the fees, penalties for it. Hearing lots of rumors that she received money illegally and trying to make a settlement deal with Jeremy Hales, to which he has refused to accept. So I'd highly suggest you research the case, read the case filings before you get involved in this. Ducey has been known to go after folks, their employers, their YouTube channels that go against him, and the reason there is several bar complaints. Cyber stalking harassment charges filed against him in several states, and because there is a heat on him, there's rumors he has fled to a country where his Armenian wife, back to either Armenia or Russia, as far as little Dick knows. We call him Paint Chips. He's permanently disbarred attorney who went to prison for kidnapping and harassment. His former law partners, he accuses Jeremy Hales. Now, are you seeing that this isn't something that was new to her? This was known to her back in May. The people were telling her, this is the kind of person that you're dealing with. And yet she continued to go in the same direction that she did. Okay. It was one of those where she was warned off on this kind of stuff, the kind of people she's throwing her hat in with. But she didn't care, because why? Well, I guess we might find out in some of these filings that we've got. You know, here's the thing. She went against Danny, Kayla, Nicholas, Aline, Federigos, Kathleen Bors, Paul Russo, defended. She went after family. She went after family, bringing a lawsuit against them. So if you think that she's at any point in time planning on backing off from it, no, she's just hidden her presence right now, but she's still working in the background on a lot of these things. I guess. I mean, it gives all the appearance of it. I mean, why would anybody create a anything about her? Nobody's talked about her since she removed herself from it. But then you see these kinds of little things, and then you've got the little what the Hale's ecosystem bringing up these points, and nobody's paying any attention. All of a sudden now people are looking. All of a sudden people start looking into it. Well, you're asking us to look into it. Sure, we'll start looking into some of the history of the behavior that she's had. You know, this is another lawsuit that was brought, like I said, against her family. She wants all communication. This is one of her estranged mother. Her estranged mother, who's not verbally spoken with her or physically seen her in several years after she'd taken numerous measures throughout the plaintiff's life. Basically, she claims that her mother was trying to ruin her. And she says that there was false statements alleging the following on May 29th. Hi, Danny, this is Lip's mom. My daughter has lost her mind and needs treatment. Your brother has done nothing. She is currently making prawn online that anyone can see. I cannot believe Lips' husband is allowing this. I've tried to get her treatment, but he stops any attempt. She's lost her mind. I will call DCF for the children unless he does something. Leslie Federico's husband is allowing this, the poor children. This is something that her mother talked about. Now she wants to bring this up right here, approximately 6 months later. Another thing that the plaintiff she's claiming that the plaintiff called her a disbarred attorney, claimed that she was mentally ill for refusing to take her medication, saying that she abuses her children, that she's an alcoholic, that she abuses prescribed medications. These are the kinds of things that she's claiming other people are saying, because it makes them look bad. Whether she is or not doesn't matter. All that matters is whenever you start making these kinds of claims against people, it's no different than she did in the lawsuit where she brought Shizzywhiznut, she brought Jay Hip, she brought Megan, she brought Tug, she brought Jeremy, and she never expected, or she was hoping it wouldn't happen, that Jeremy would accept service, because that little clock went away. That little amount of time that she could pull out of it without receiving any sort of reprimand on it started to close. And so she closed that thing down pretty quick, then shut down her YouTube channel, then shut down all of the other sites. Yet there's still videos being made. There's still those kinds of things showing up. It's really interesting. Plaintiff filed this false report against herself as part of a divorce tactic to divorce the plaintiff's husband. This is what another family member or two other family members had stated. On November 19th, 2023, the plaintiff filed this false report against herself as part of a divorce tactic to divorce the plaintiff's husband. Another one on November 19th, 2023, plotting to kill defendant Eleno Federigos and threatened to file a report with law enforcement. These are claims that she's saying other people are making against her. Yeah, 21 days safe harbor. Now, on December 4th of 2023, defendant Danny flew to Florida from New York and showed up to plaintiff's marital home unannounced after the plaintiff and her husband had notified him various times to cease contact with, proceeds to put the plaintiff down and ask her question about why she's estranged from her mother while showing her screenshots of a message that her mother emailed to the defendant, Danny. He further makes a statement that he needed to make sure his brother had not been deleted by the plaintiff. For this reason, why he showed up at the plaintiff's marital home uninvited, having knowledge the plaintiff's husband spoke to defendant on December 1st, and Federigos became angry with plaintiff's husband, proceeds to hung up the phone on him. Well, the plaintiff was forced to call the police and trespass Danny from the property after repeated requests for him to leave. Danny makes the following statement to the plaintiff as he vacates her marital home: "I will call the police to do wellness checks daily to harass you." Now, did he make that statement, or is that a statement she claims he made it? Well, these are statements that she claims he made it. See, this is the thing that she has done on numerous occasions. From everything that I've seen, is she makes wild, outrageous claims, and then as soon as they make those wild, outrageous claims, they don't show anything to back this. And whenever those get called out, all of a sudden the whole spin starts on it, and the spin gets more and more. It's not like it stops. There's always a constant spin being thrown on every single thing that's being said. We've seen it. We've seen it multiple times. How many times have you guys looked up and seen that there's a new thing that somebody has said, and all of a sudden everything is going crazy on the Facebook or something like that? And where are those claims coming from? Is anybody verifying that the claim comes in? It's one of those circular patterns I talked about the other night, where somebody makes a claim, somebody repeats that claim, and then that person that repeats it, it gets notated that they're the ones that said it in the first place. It doesn't mean that they did. They're just repeating something that somebody else said, and it's a bad game of telephone that gets cycled around. So now you've got all these people talking about it, and nobody knows where the original story came from. And that's why whenever I saw this fake obituary thing, I was like, that looks fake. I mean, from the outset, you could look at it and tell that it was fake. One, it didn't give any details. Two, you couldn't confirm it with anything. As far as what would it be, an obituary, an actual, legal paper being filed or anything like that. There was nothing said about it. There was nothing in a local paper. There wasn't anything that was local. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's fake. Did she write it? I don't know. I mean, something doesn't smell right in Stinkville. And, but see, here's where they want to play that game, because if somebody else did write it, then she says it's harassment. Or if she writes it, she can still claim that it's harassment by somebody else. Look, see, these people are harassing me. I've done nothing. I've deleted all of my stuff offline. But there's only one person I know of that's been creating all kinds of websites. Now, other people might create Facebook pages and things like that, but there's only one person I know of out of all these people. Well, actually, multiple people that I know out of all these groups of people that have a tendency to create websites and create this story just to have people talking about them. Well, and then as soon as you do, then they get all upset because, oh, Christ, now you're talking about us. Don't you understand that nobody cares? Nobody gives two craps about her. And it's been said multiple times, don't care. I don't care. Why is that showing up? It should be allowing me to redact that text. Okay. And I want to make sure because I found something in this next filing that actually had a phone number in there. And we're going to apply that. Continue. And because there was a telephone number. Yes. All right. I want to make sure. Now I'll be going through this a little bit just because I don't like showing things on people if I can absolutely avoid it. It's all a pile of shoot. Yeah. It's all a pile of shite. Mama Cuddles, Debbie Beb, how are you doing? Okay. Well, and Marsh, good to see that you're lurking. There's nothing wrong with that. We enjoy the lurkers just as much. So this particular one right here came popping up, and this was actually filed by defendant Chartine Vieira, which, if you don't know, Chartine was a former employee, and this is the kind of behavior that would happen. Says submits the attached affidavits, all April 28, 2020 emails from Terry Rain to the supported affidavit by Troy Taylor, which plaintiff filed in the court of April 28, defendant forged in Florida bar, and filed a Florida bar complaint, requesting plaintiff in Florida bar complaint file number. Chartine is from calls to Chartine from Elliott, failed to find Chartine Vieira when service is attempted. This document was also filed with the court by plaintiff as an exhibit on April 28th, bearing the plaintiff's distinguished hallmark of misleading and gross misstatements of fact. As you can see, just Exhibit X. This document was filed with the court by plaintiff as an exhibit on April 26, 2021, bearing plaintiff's distinguished hallmark of misleading and gross misstatement of facts entitled Affidavit of Non-Service, which Ms. Vieira threatens officer of the court with a gun. Oh, welcome, Terry. Welcome. That would have been maybe Dot that gave that to you. So they definitely show her some love. Now, they just basically certify that this is a true statement. Affidavit by Troy Taylor. I'm willing to speak as your past attorney boss is a fraud as much as my stalker. Ms. Terry, I thank you for your honesty and candor. I've copied the Florida bar here with it. You may have contact information to investigate the authenticity or fraudulent nature. Affidavit of Troy Taylor that Lips filed in Orange County Circuit Court today. If you would please continue forthcoming with information regarding this matter, should the Florida bar contact you for more information, I will let the bar take over and decide whether or not this subject affidavit was fraudulent in any capacity. Again, thank you for your honesty. Sincerely, Chartine, Terry Hearing. It's phony we never spoke outside the office. Miss Terry, please see the attached affidavit that attorney Lips just filed in court. The affidavit was notarized by her husband. I know for a fact that the only time you and I ever spoke was while I worked for the Federicos, and it was in connection with a hearing I was trying to schedule. I remember that at the time, Troy was either in a facility, in jail, or something to that effect that would not allow him to appear for a hearing that was set for February. I also recall that the conversation was not solely about me asking you to accept service of the notice of hearing in connection with her client, Mia. I'm forwarding this to you because we both know, never spoken to you outside of my employment with Lips, that this conversation never took place. If this is a fraudulent affidavit, I need to know to defend myself against these allegations that Lips is making. Can you please look at it and tell me the truth? I have no interest in dragging you into this, but I can't stand by while an attorney fabricates complete lies about me and others. So it wasn't just Jeremy that was getting this kind of stuff. It wasn't just Tug. It wasn't just Megan. See, this is the kind of person, from everything that I've seen and the behavior that I've seen, that this is a pattern of behavior that drags people into something that doesn't want to be involved in it to try to make themselves look better. Why, you ask? I don't know. What is the end goal? Is it to make themselves much better? Wow, and just wow, your ex-boss is a piece of work. Miss Terry, please see attached affidavit that attorney Lips just filed in court. The affidavit was notarized by her husband. That's the same thing. It's funny that we never spoke. That's not Troy's signature, and I have no idea who this Vera woman is. Never spoke or met with her. Fletcher was the name of my stalker, Mia Taylor, old attorney, Charles Fletcher, fraud. So please see the attached affidavit that she just filed in court. The affidavit was notarized by her husband. Yeah, these are the kinds of behaviors that got to see in there. And I think there's something in here I need to double check on. I want to make sure that it's in there. And here we go. It says, yes, Troy was actually here at my house after rehab. We had a court case with your lawyer and Joy's ex-wife, knowing full well that there was a warrant for her arrest. She proceeded to have this hearing. It was held by video, which I'm sure you can get a copy of. The only people that were at my home that day was me and Troy. I don't even know you. If his signature is a fraud, then she's fraudulent, a disabled adult. And these sort of go backward. And there's Exhibit W, which says, thanks, recent. Stop calling my telephone number. Elliot, why do you keep calling my phone? Thanks. And the affidavit right here to certify that the foregoing has been through the e-portal system. Received by Pineapple Investigations on the 5th of March, 2021, to be served on Chartine I. Janet Vogel, being swornly due, deposed on the 5th day of March, non-served complaint, civil cover sheet, additional pertaining to the service. Service was attempted at given address. Upon service arrival, someone looked out of the lit window by the garage when the server was parked in the driveway. Server flashed her headlights several times and waved before approaching the door. A female voice calling out through the door, and server asked for Chartine while identifying herself as a certified service processor. Certified processor was advised the results of the server is living at the address. Server returned to the door, knocked, identified herself. The female, thought to be the same female that the server spoke to, called through the door again to the server. The female told the server that the person she was trying to reach is not here. Server asked if she is Jessica Hernandez. The woman said who. The woman proceeded to tell the server through the shut front door that she has a gun. She does not know who the server is, and get the hell off my porch. Process servers only serve non-enforceable documents, which is just what server was attempting to serve. Now, this was on Chartine. This is what Chartine had filed. But it doesn't end there. Hey, Rosalind, how you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful night. Oh, let's see. And those were some of the final ones there. Then we've got this one here that comes now, Chartine. These are the exhibits marked A through E in her defendant's motion to dismiss. It explains who she was, disparaging public review by Lips, referring to defendant as a criminal. She still represents defendant Chartine Vieira in a family law matter. Plaintiff was hired by defendant September 20 to represent her hearing resulting from defendant's arrest and release with no charges. March 4th, text from the client to the defendant 2 weeks after defendant quit her job working for plaintiff, wherein the client, guised behind an untrackable telephone number due to fear of plaintiff's retaliation, states how plaintiff incorrectly came to the conclusions that are the basis of the complaint. March 3rd, the Florida bar complaint filed by Chartine against Lips. March 18th, a subpoena for defendant to testify before Judge Frederick Pollock regarding allegations of plaintiff involvement in assisting and coaching her client in kidnapping of the client's estranged minor child across state lines from Florida to New Mexico, an order on November 12, 2020, with finding plaintiff Lips misrepresented the court. See Exhibit D attached to the motion to dismiss complaint. Email to Judge Beamers, JA, containing fake email addresses for all defendants. This is a continued type of attorney behavior that has brought plaintiff Lips under scrutiny with the Florida bar and at least 5 recent pending Florida bar complaints. April 7th, 2020, copy of Chartine's affidavit regarding plaintiff's misrepresentation of the court in a guardianship case of D. Keegan. Facebook post by plaintiff Lips circa 2 months prior to filing subject complaint, where plaintiff expressed great satisfaction with her performance as her firm administrator and paralegal. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. These are actual court filings here. Are you seeing a pattern here? Text messages from plaintiff's husband to defendant, where Michael also confirms is owed $7,000 in back pay that was owing since February 1st, 2021, and never paid, plus $2,000 reimbursement of expenses. There was a $5,000 check, but I blanked that out because you don't need to see that. There was a check that was attached. That she filed a petition for injunction for protection against Chartine in support of the same, made the following statement in support under penalty of perjury. Respondent emailed me 3 times demanding I pay her $7,000, which I never owed her. She suddenly claimed I need to pay her this money or she will blackmail me. Are we seeing a pattern? She creates all of this hoping none of it sticks. Hoping one sticks. She does this. A person will do this kind of behavior whenever they don't have a case, whenever there's nothing that this person has done to disparage, to make them seem like they're an awful, rotten, horrible person. You know, and it's the same thing that she did in the case that she filed against Tug, Megan, Jeremy Hales, J Hip, and myself. If you want to, we can pull that up. We can go through all of the things that she claimed to end that, and it's no different than she did in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, whenever she was under the gun. We saw the same pattern, the same kind of behavior, making these wild, outrageous claims that people are like, no, they didn't. Everyone and you have to understand, online is different than actual court, because judges aren't watching what's going on. They're not seeing both sides of the story. They're only seeing one side of the story being presented to them, and it makes someone look ill. It makes them look like they've got some serious issues, like they've done something horribly wrong. And then they play the victim. While in the meantime, you've got Lips that was asking and begging people to roast her. You had her saying, "Come at me. I want to see what you got." Love bombing me on my own website, on my own streams that I never saw until somebody else pulled them and showed them to me. The kind of behavior that she distributed was what someone might call unhinged, unreal. It was unbelievable. Nobody gave 2 damns about her. In all reality, whenever they started bringing up all these people came after her, nobody came after her. Nobody gave 2 damns about her. All they did was pulled up her prior acts. No different than this right here. Pulled up her prior acts and said, this is what I'm seeing. This is the kind of behavior that is not uncommon. Hey, Valor, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This was behavior that we were seeing. The kind of behavior that was just trying it. Welcome to the shit show. These right here. Lips made the above statements and attested to the truth of her statements when signed the certification to wit reads, I have read every statement made this petition and each statement is true and correct. I understand the statements made in this petition are being made under penalty of perjury punishable as provided in section 837.02 Florida statutes. Amended notice of hearing was filed by Chartine for motions to dismiss complaint on the 14th with certificate of compliance and supporting documentation. April 8th, notice of unavailability filed by Lips, reporting she's not available on June 14th in 2021. And Chartine filed this. Furnished all active and interested parties via the Florida e-filing portal and to the Florida Bar via email at the Florida email address, and also by mail on the 12th day of April 2021. Exhibit F. Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. New name and photo are available. Next job you get, I will make sure your employers knows exactly who you are. You're truly insane. You will never get a job in the legal field again. Not after I tell everyone what you are doing. Imagine receiving a message like that. After you leave somebody and you're just like, I've got better things to do with my life. Exhibit G. Right here. Excellent professional experience, affordable, accessible. Hands down, if ever in need of an attorney, call this firm. They are great. Charles Taylor. Lips is a consumer advocate. She knows what it's like to be the client situation. Why? Because she's been a client with one distinct difference. There is no one, blah, blah, blah. And all positive reviews. Exhibit H. Chartine, you're a brave woman. Sorry, I want no part of this, and you will no longer engage. Legal Lips, you are completely unprofessional. I don't know who this is, and I don't want to know for legal purposes, but please accept my sincere gratitude for your words. It's been difficult a couple of weeks after seeing the hurtful things that are circulating about me, but I will continue to stand up for what I believe in at any cost. Thank you kindly. Not sure what you're talking about. I have not done anything unprofessional. However, before you make allegations, you might want to know what Chartine has done unprofessionally to me. Client. Leslie, I'm one of your current clients. I want to, and what you are doing is completely unprofessional. I can definitely understand where you want to protect yourself, but you have around more than one of your clients and people are upset and want justice. For the longest time now, you have been chewing more than you can chew, and it's been at the cost of your clients. How can you expect your clients not to be upset? These people were people wants to stay behind you very firmly, but you started to demonstrate unethical behaviors. I am hiding behind this number because I don't feel that you will withdraw from my case because I am voicing my opinion. Also, when I said that Kyle was involved, I didn't mean that he was involved in doing any kind of collaboration with your current clients and former employees. From what I read is he is representing one of your clients in a stalking case. Florida Bar complaint. Lips instructed me, her paralegal at the time, to assist one of her clients, which I later found out constitutes parental abduction of a minor child across state lines from Florida to New Mexico. Please see additional pages for all complaints being filed against this attorney. Signed, Chartine. Bar complaint 1. Lips participated, orchestrated in parental abduction of a minor. Lips instructed me, her paralegal at the time, to assist one of her clients with what I later found out constitute parental abduction of a minor child across state lines from Florida to New Mexico. This is a complaint that was filed with the bar. Don't know if it was ever brought up. in any of her cases, but this is Chartine showing exactly the bar complaint that she made. A current client of Lips, whose initials are VL and hereafter referred to as VL, contacted me on my cell phone to advise me that her minor daughter had been thrown out of the father's house that day with no food, no money, or clothing, no phone. The minor child resided with the father in Florida per court order. The mother resides in New Mexico and resided there at the time of this occurrence. VL expressed to me she did not know what to do to ensure her daughter's safety, as I stated I didn't either, and that I would contact Lips to find out what to do. I then immediately contacted Lips on her cell phone, explained what the lady had told me. Lips said to me, "This is her chance. Tell her to pick up her daughter. Tell her to Uber the child to my house or yours." During numerous conversations with Lips and myself, Miss Lips told me that the child was being essayed by the father. She further instructed me to tell VL not to disclose to the father that anyone knew where the child was, nor to disclose her intent to pick up the child. Lips instructed me on what to tell VL to text the father who was searching for his daughter. I did exactly as I was instructed by Lips. I called VL back and told her what Lips advised her to do. VL arranged for an Uber to pick her up at my residence, and for visiting, witnessed the phone call where Lips instructed me to take the child because Federico said it. "We have to help her. She's being essayed. Would you want someone to do that to your child?" Later that evening, she posted on Facebook that she goes to great lengths for her clients, no matter no other attorney would go to. At approximately 5:30, the minor arrived at my doorstep. I gave her clean clothes, went out, bought her new underwear, pajamas, toothbrush. I gave her dinner, prepared a futon for her to sleep on. My 3 children, 8, 13, 17, were home when she arrived. I explained to them why this child was in our home. VL and I texted extensively between 5:02 and 5:03, as did Lips and I. Lips instructed me on how to tell the client to text the father in order to keep the plans of abducting her daughter a secret from him. Evidence will be provided upon request. I'm currently waiting for the entirety of the text messages from documenting her instructions to me from my cell phone provider. I will submit them under separate cover. I have a bar complaint. I'm not near one. Yeah. 9/3/20 at approximately 4 p.m. VL contacted me to advise she arrived in Orlando, Florida, and asked me to drive her daughter to the hotel where she was staying at for the night. I told VL I could not drive her daughter to Orlando. Then arranged for her daughter to be picked up by an Uber from my home and taken to the hotel she was staying at in Orlando. The child left my home at approximately 7 p.m. Lips instructed me to prepare and file a notice of minor child's whereabouts, which I did, filed via portal. Lips filed an emergency motion for temporary relief and full custody of minor child. The gal on the case, Stephanie Esquire's telephone number, prepared and filed a report for the judge stating she had reason to believe that Lips was directly involved in assisting VL in abduction of her daughter and to get her over state lines in New Mexico. When she filed that report, Lips called me frantic, extremely upset. She specifically told me that in order to keep my job, I would have to lie if the facts involving how the minor child got to New Mexico was ever investigated. She made the following statements to me: "I'm an attorney, you're not, so nothing would happen to you, but I would get in trouble." How did gal find out? "Oh my God, this is bad. I don't want you to lose your job, but you have to cover for me because I can't afford to have a job. You can't afford to not have a job right now." I depended on Lips to know the law and advise me if I would be committing a crime if I followed her instruction to let that little child stay in my house to enable the mother to get physical custody. Lips told me I was doing an honorable thing and that I stopped her from being abused. I believed her. I did not know I was committing a crime. Lips texted me stating that she had spoken to VL regarding the parental abduction, insinuating that the client would lie to protect her so that I would not report Miss Federicos to the Florida bar. Evidence will be provided upon request. Are you getting a picture here? Are you starting to get a little picture of the kind of behavior that we've been seeing lately? The kind of behavior that really can tear some stuff apart. And people wonder why Jeremy is putting a stop to it and saying, hey, something's not right here. And happens to have the ability to do it. Chartine didn't have the ability to fight a long, drawn-out lawsuit. There was nothing that she could do. Liars waking with liars. We see it. We see it time and time again. And the problem is there's folks out there that get really upset whenever you start pointing these things out. The kind of behavior that everybody, if they just looked, would see. There's a constant deflection of who's doing what and who's doing where. Instead of sitting down reading court documents, you'll see quite a few people get up and they'll start making wild accusations because of some hearsay that they heard or saw, or making assumptions on something that they don't know if it's true or not. We've all done it. But then you amplify that with multiple people saying the same thing, it can turn into something that nobody knows where the original story came from and nobody can verify. That's why I stay away from certain things and I don't talk about them, because those are things that I can't verify. There's a lot of speech that you'll see that comes out that's unverified. I mean, you might hear tales of it or a story about it, but until you can verify who did what or who said what, you tend to make speculation about it. Speculation can turn into rumor. People start digging into it. And what you find is this kind of stuff. Bar complaint 2. Lips legally practice of signing on to guardianship cases by intentionally fudging opposing counsel's email addresses when submitting proposed orders to judges. Bar complaint for this. Do you know what that means right there? If you're curious what I'm talking about, fudging opposing counsel's email address when submitting a proposed order to judges. Whenever you email a judge and you put something on there, which is something from what I understand got her in quite a bit of trouble with the Florida bar, because it was something that the judge had already signed off on. And she fudged it wrong. Miss Lips, well, she signed on as an attorney of record for a ward, Orange County. When I asked her how she is able to be hired by a ward when they have no rights to seek representation under guardianship, she told me how she does it. Lips told me that she prepares an agreed order to the judge regarding her representation, and when she emails it to the JA, she copies the other party's attorney on the case, but she intentionally writes the email of whichever party will object to her representation incorrectly, and stated it's subtle, nothing obvious, just like one letter off on the email address. Per Federico's, it could look like an accident and I would have already gotten paid by the client. This information can be confirmed by asking all parties in the following cases to produce the emails where Lips purportedly emailed everyone who agreed to an order to have her sign on as counsel. Guardianship cases I believe that she did this on were on Keegan, Garwood, Maria Matas Munoz. She lists the cases right here. Bar complaint 3. Lips gross misconduct, refusal to release paycheck to paralegal without cause. She quit her job as her office administrator and paralegal. Lips does not dispute that she owes me $7. However, she refuses to release my check to me because I threatened to report her to the Florida bar. Lips confirmed in writing that she is aware she owes me Attached Exhibit A is a copy of that email she sent to me confirming the same, as well as text messages from her husband, who offered to write me 2 letters of recommendation and to wire my paycheck to me. Lips again fudged the emails of all defendants in communications to a judge exactly the way she did in the guardianship case mentioned above. Lips fudged emails of all defendants in an effort to get a hearing date, unilaterally provided fake fudged emails in communication with a JA to obstruct due process of the defendant she sued. See Exhibit B. Misconduct by Lips with the intent to harm her former paralegal's ability to find employment after she quit. I received numerous calls and texts from my clients stating that Lips was disparaging me to her clients, stating I did not do my job, and even complete fabrications of alleged disconduct by me. I texted Lips requesting that she stop disparaging me to her clients. Since I'm an independent contractor, I prepare legal forms for pro se litigants for a living. Lips knew that disparaging me would directly affect my ability to find work after I quit my job with her. Lips wrote me numerous times that she was going to make sure that I would never find work in Florida again by disparaging me and harming my reputation with false information. Remember what I said. You'll be watching for me helmet. For the me helmet, it'll be coming. It'll be coming. Share bear, it'll be coming along. Miss Federigo's. It's just insane. I can't believe that she would be doing this. I would never find work again in Florida by disparaging me or harming my reputation. I respectfully asked her to stop disparaging me because it would affect my ability. The text messages between her and I regarding these allegations are D, threats to file, or B, or Exhibit B, threats to file false TCF reports against her former paralegal, reported her misconduct to the Florida bar. She threatened to file false DCF reports against me, threatened to have my children taken from me because I threatened to report her to the bar. Attached collectively as Exhibit B are all the text messages between her and I regarding this allegation. Lips circulated the mugshot of a former client via text to me and other clients to harm and embarrass the client. She texted me mugshots of a former client she believed was colluding to defame her, asking me to try to calm the client down. Lips' outrageous behavior is concerning and dangerous. Evidence will be provided upon request. Lips edited a letter I wrote to her, then circulated this edited letter to clients to humiliate, embarrass, and scare me. Evidence will be provided upon request. From 12/18/21 to present, has gone to great lengths to intentionally hurt, abuse, embarrass clients, including her former paralegal. Evidence will be provided upon request. Lips' behavior has brought dishonor and distrust of the legal profession. Her erratic and bizarre behavior warrants an investigation into her mental health before she hurts more people or herself. She emailed me with conspiracy theories she believes warranted filing a frivolous lawsuit. She stated that I was conspiring to get all her enemies together simply because one of her former clients hired Kyle Fletcher to represent him in an injunction case. Ms. Lips believes that former clients, including myself, are conspiring against her. This behavior is concerning and dangerous. She also stated to me that she included me in a lawsuit to create a conflict of interest so that Kyle, who she also named in a lawsuit, could not represent me. This is not normal behavior. This behavior is concerning and dangerous. Evidence will be provided upon request. Why do you think they've been going so hard at Randy? See, this is the kind of behavior that they've done. Try to take out an effective attorney. They tried by their shady little words to get him removed from the Fed 1 case. You guys remember this? Do you remember that they implied of things that Randy was doing in Fed 1? And whenever Randy responded, the judge says, well, were you served? See, this is the kind of behavior that they do. Like I said, shady things behind the scenes, shady wording in their court pleadings. They know what they're doing whenever they file these. It's not an accident that they make mistakes on these filings. It's intentional, or is it? Makes you wonder a little bit there now, doesn't it? Are they doing this intentionally, or are they doing it because they're that stupid? I think it's possibly because they're that stupid that they file these ridiculous kinds of pleadings. Oh, tell him to stay away. They could be contagious. I'm slapping my head off. Yeah, they could be contagious. I saw something here. I want to make sure is removed. Here we go. While Lips came under Florida bar scrutiny recently, she asked her clients to email the attorney who was heading that investigation with letters of praise, telling clients exactly what to write. She asked me to write a letter as well, which I happily did because I had no idea she was unstable. As part of that investigation, Lips agreed or it was suggested she get therapy. Lips is very open about her mental disorder and shared details with her clients during an open support group of her prior self-deletion attempt that landed her in a mental hospital, causing her to lose custody of her daughter. Lips has shared confidential information regarding clients, such as their email addresses and client case details, when she created a support group for clients and staff to become friends and openly discuss their cases and personal plights. The lines between client and friends are non-existent. At Lips' request, clients are able to call me on my cell phone to talk about their cases and problems. She wanted us to be friends, which is what clients and myself became due to her business model. She wanted us to be friends. She shared confidential information by making those meetings mandatory for clients, sharing all of their emails and posting on social media the Zoom links for all client support meetings so the public could attend if they so desired. However, in her frivolous lawsuit against me, she's now claiming, based on delusion alone, that I have leaked clients' email addresses when she is the one who posted all of them on social media and mass email notifications. Evidence will be provided upon request. I respectfully ask that the Florida bar to investigate these complaints and to address Lips' misconduct with disciplinary action, including but not limited to sanctions and or suspensions or disbarment if the complaints and allegations in this complaint are determined to be true. Thank you all you 493 of you wonderful, fine folks. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I do appreciate you. You make it worthwhile doing these streams. And I show this stuff not to disparage or bring shade on anybody. Reason I show these is to show you the kind of pattern that we've been seeing. And it's sad that she's got these kinds of issues, and you would think that she's changed that behavior. One hopes that she's changed this behavior since then. From the kind of thing that we've seen, it doesn't look like the behavior has changed. And it's just sort of disappears for a short period of time. It's the rise and fall of whatever issue might or might not be going on with her. And it harms people in the real world. And I feel bad that her husband has to go through this, her children have to go through this, her family is impacted by it. My heart goes out to every single one of them. There's nothing I can do about it. That's not my job. I'm just an idiot that sits on the YouTube and reads filings. It's too bad. Grandkids, Taxi Steve. Oh. Exhibit J. To the state of Florida. You are commanded to appear before the honorable judge to have a hearing. Let's see. And it says, it was J. order, motion to strike order of suggestion of capacity, and motion to strike petition for distribution and request for sanctions against attorney Lips. This court finds, after receiving argument, reviewing the file, and being otherwise duly advised, he hereby finds that the ward is to be evaluated by Jeffrey Danzinger to determine if the ward has regained capacity. The reason I don't show the email, which you'll see these down here, these are the kinds of things that she was getting put in there. Please give this to the judge. And I redacted it because the email addresses were improper. They were wrong. Exhibit M. Oh, thank you very much, Lyndon. Shizzy's blessings. Great letters. Love all you do. Well, I will have a letter for you guys here in a bit. I guarantee you there will be another letter coming out here shortly. This is where she filed this here. And, you know, this is a very long piece right here. It says, I am aware. Okay. Appears to have been copied on the email containing the proposed order, has great faith it would never occur to a judge to check the accuracy of the email address that Lips intentionally fudges. Thereby, the judge is fooled into signing it based on the judge's faith that Lips is an honest officer of the court, essentially the dishonest practice. And as you can see, they're naming both people here, that both people uses to get guardianship orders signed by judges is based on Lips's belief that a judge would never suspect her of such behavior because they assume she complies with the Florida Bar Association obligations as an attorney. Unfortunately, I have witnessed this tactic being successful in her practice, and judges usually sign their proposed order submitted because they assume that no attorney in their right mind would resort to such despicable tactics to mislead judge. I do appreciate you, Lynn. It's always wonderful. You guys support me so much, and I love you all for it. I mean, really, it's very. You guys are so thoughtful. Lips went so far as to tell Chartine that when she messes up opposing counsel's email address, she will do it subtly by simply adding a period within the email address or mixing up a letter or two so that if she is ever caught, she can contend it was nothing more than an instant typographical error not to be subject to judicial or Florida bar discipline. In fact, as recent as March 3rd, Lips was caught in this practice of hers. September 29th, she submitted an order to Judge Apt, which he signed, appointing the doctor to examine this Mr. Keegan. Lips, I'm aware that Lips did not go about having Lipstein appoint the customary and legal manner. Lips told me she was going to have Douglas A. Keegan examined by Lichtenstein regardless of court approval, and that she would make sure the judge would hear Dr. Lichtenstein's opinion that her client did not need a guardian. Yeah, Mr. Keegan ended up back in protective custody because he threatened the judge. One that she fought really hard to get put in there. I'm aware that Lips has approximately 5 pending bar complaints that are subject to investigation, including one reported by a chief judge in Broward County. Also aware that she retained a retainer from another ward by housing the ward in her own home, allowing the ward to smoke weed in the home around the children. Then, after getting the retainer signed, helping the ward to move into an extended stay hotel. Lips stated to me she wanted a retainer from Garwood to pursue a claim in federal court. Lips was successful in getting the client's ward to sign the retainer. Yeah. Hello, Larker. Exhibit N states, I could not do it without you. Well, Shar, if you work with Lips, you must also be a pretty amazing caliber human. Thank you for being the wind beneath each other's wings. Michael, this isn't regarding the bar. This is the money you were owed. I'll make sure Lips will write you a good recommendation, and me from the help you gave me. Also, I'd appreciate that tremendously. Thank you so much. I didn't know you live in Lakeland. I can't. I Zelle it. I don't have Zelle. I have PayPal. I just got off the phone, and it says, with my bank, my account doesn't allow outside deposits by pay a person. Please have Lips send me a PayPal via Cash App today. Thanks. Lips just called the bank and the money is out of her account. Will take 3 days to show up. I can get you the 3 cashier's check and then meet you. If you could overnight the cashier's check, that'd be fine. Please confirm it will be overnight today. She can put a stop payment on it. I need it to be done with her. I can't wait any longer. Please confirm. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. What is it that you're wanting? I have never had an issue with you. I always liked you. Why do you think I didn't go out to the photo shoot or hang out with them? I am a professional. I don't go to strip clubs with my boss. I don't drink with my boss, and she hates that I had good boundaries. You are right. Lips makes poor choices. She just needs to stop speaking badly about me. I know you and Leslie worked well together, so what are you wanting so I can make it happen? Is that what you're wanting for Leslie? Stop speaking bad of you? Is that it? I will make sure that Lips writes a really good recommendation if you need one. Michael knew that that the boss was taking him out to strip clubs. And that's just the petition. Respondent, independent contractor, retainer filed a civil suit. I want to make sure that I don't have anything on here that's not supposed to be. Here I can read these out a little bit better. I can read these out just a little bit better. On February 18th, 2021, the respondent wrote a text quitting her contract with Lips, which is my law firm. Contract is attached. On February 19, 2021, requested to continue services for her. However, I rejected her request. On February 21st, 2021, respondent emails my employee calling her a piece of shit and how she is lucky that the respondent doesn't come over here and pull her face and spit in it. Respondent emails me threatening to disparage me, call the bar, judges, attorneys, and gals in one of my cases if I don't give her $7,000 by tomorrow. This was what Lips said. In a signed affidavit, says that her employee, that she called her employee, calling her a piece of shit, how she's lucky that the respondent doesn't come over here and pull her face and spit in it, and that she was threatening to disparage her, call the bar, call judges, attorneys, gals on her cases if I don't give her $7,000 by tomorrow. Imagine filing that when somebody didn't say it. And here is her timeline. This is Lips. Respond emails me 3 times, demanding I pay her $7,000, which I never owed her. She suddenly claimed I need to pay her with this money or she would blackmail me. Respondent sends more emails calling me a control freak and threatening to call the Florida bar on me and stated false claims about me assisting in the abduction of a child. Don't know if it, like I said, these are just court filings. That's all I'm reading. On February 22nd, respondent proceeds to contact my clients and screenshotting their messages to send to me. As the day goes on, the respondent emails me that I am to pay her $7,000 by tomorrow. On the 21st, respondent emails me a 2-page email admitting to threatening me so I would pay her. On the 28th, the client forwards me screenshots where the respondent continues to make disparaging comments about me, over 10 screenshots. The respondent has joined a group chat with my clients where she disparages me to them as well. On February 28th, I went to pull my work calendar up and all the hearings and trial from February 21 through the remainder of the year that the respondent booked to have been erased. Well, On February 25th, the respondent contacted me to inform me that she contacted an attorney who filed a bar complaint on me and he is planning to represent her against me. Since the events, the respondent has taken confidential information from the firm, continues to give it to third parties. Additionally, the respondent continues to contact my active clients daily, disparage me, knowing they're telling me what is being said. On March 3rd, 2020, well, Chartine was served a request to produce through mail. She creates a picture where she states I am defrauding clients and intends to post it on social media. She further accuses me of being on drugs and tells me the only thing she will produce is her ass. She continues to send emotionally abusive emails throughout the day directed at me and copies my clients. Now you understand why I never responded to those ridiculous emails. I responded once and no more. If you guys don't remember back, whenever Lips or her husband or a combination of both wanted to send me a nasty email saying, we're going to file it with the court. Please do, was my response. Please file every single bit of what I say with the court. So it's very clear that I'm not playing with you. And they continue to play because they saw that after they tried emailing me again, they got no response. Their responses weren't what they expected. They were hoping to get more in there, but they couldn't. And I'm scrolling down through this because a lot of it's just nothing of anything. That there were motions filed. I'm looking really quick. Due to the no contact provisions, that was just her bailing on it. And they filed motions to dismiss. Here we go. In regards to your email to Karina. Sasha, to avoid the merry-go-round I'm all too familiar with when it comes to these scheduling matters, I'm available and all other defendants are available to meet and confer any day, any time that LF is available this week and every single week thereafter for the rest of the month of April to avoid having to go back and forth in a pissing contest on this. We're making it super easy to coordinate this. We're literally available any time, any day at the time that LF is available. So give us a few dates back that work. We will make it work very simple, accommodating on our behalf. This is your motion. This is your responsibility to provide us with 3 proposed dates. Sure. Okay. Within 24 hours, please send me 3 dates for a 15-minute meet, confer. If I don't receive a meet and confer dates from you, I'll assume that you agree that the pending injunctions don't allow myself or Steve to speak with Lips. Therefore, a hearing should be set up. To you, I have no objection to meet and confer. I'll wait for the dates. Thank you. Due to the injunction, I would encourage you to find representation. As I am sure you're aware, you're not allowed to contact Lips, which would make this meet and confer difficult. Sure, okay. Per Orange County procedural rules, you are to engage in a meet and confer prior to setting any hearing. If you choose to unilaterally set this hearing, we will be forced to immediately object and motion for sanction for your failure to abide by Orange County procedures. In the future, please use one of the following contacts. Yeah, these are just back and forth emails, and there's email addresses and lots of them. That's why I'm not showing. Comes now. Lips filed the notice for unavailability for counsel on behalf of the plaintiff. She filed it herself, of course. Has anyone come to light with, I'm sorry, what was that? Has anything come to light with Felicia going after custodial rights of Elemental P? I was under the impression that was her plan to get out of the potential fraud. I don't think that's the case. I don't think she's going after custodial rights of Elemental P. I mean, I would say she's probably maybe going after getting the child. I mean, that's what it points to. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. I'm just looking to see because it looks like this is another one. And if I think I may have already read this one. I am digging down through these. Oh, nope, I haven't read this one yet. All right. This one I think I can go ahead and show. Just looking to make sure there isn't anything in here. Okay. All right. I'm just looking because sometimes these things I just can't show. Oh, headache. Exhibit U submitted by defendant Chartine Vieira. Now comes defendant copy of the filing by Mia Taylor, current client of Lips, as it relates to individuals named in the affidavit, Troy Taylor. That plaintiff filed is true and a factual document today, April 28th, 2021. So in this, it's just basically a bunch of things. This respondent was without the evidence needed to prove that the claims of assault did not occur, which were available to the court, and basically signs off on it, saying that he is currently jailed for a violation of probation, charged with stalking, DV charge, where the undersigned is listed as a victim of that case. Jailers are determining additional charges should be levied upon him for directing another person to take specific actions against the undersigned respondent to determine if they have conspired to make the undersigned unavailable to testify against him by leveling false charges against the undersigned and having her falsely jailed. Consent, final judgment dismissing above styled cases. I mean, I know this is probably some of the most uninteresting kind of court documents. I've read through quite a few of these. I can take a little bit of a break, let you guys breathe, ask any questions. Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun tonight, guys. I mean, come on. So here's where all these cases, as far as I can tell, stand. Right now, you've got some crazy stuff being brought about by the wonderful Federal Bureau of Investigation is searching into paint chips. They're digging into them now. Over the next few weeks, I'm sure that it's going to get even more interesting as certain filings will have to be done. See, they've got themselves into a pickle where they'll have to file a response. If they don't file a response within a certain period of time, then they end up being in default, and that's it. Shizzy song idea insane in the membrane. Oh, the ecosystem. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys had seen it, but Gatug going over that the other night, I was listening to that. Was it yesterday or was it today? I don't know. Time is but a social construct that I can't seem to wrap my brain around anymore. But it was this morning as I was doing a bunch of other stuff. As I was working on that video that I showed you guys, I saw the insane amount of cult-like behavior in that. I was like, whoever wrote that, they lack some serious skills. Just saying. It is beyond pitiful. Paint chips is a prison thing or a gay thing. It could be both. I don't know. It could be both. Or it might be none of the above. It might just be certain people like to be treated a certain way. Just think. Even paint chips needs a little bit of love in the afternoons. I mean, how he gets it, that's up to him. He can do that however he wants to. Warren is an a-hole they can't get out. Well, they have dug themselves into a hole they can't get out of. They keep putting themselves in these positions. I've been hesitant to talk about some of the stuff that I know, only because I'm letting certain things play out. and watching the stupidity unravel. Because one thing I do notice out of these fools is they're starving for attention. I don't know if, mommy didn't pay him enough attention, weaned him too soon off the tit, or what. I don't know. It could be any number of things. But they really are starving for attention. The only thing is whenever they get attention from me, they usually don't like it. I don't understand. You're so hungry for attention, and whenever I give it to you and smack you down, it's almost like you were never told no as a young child. I'm confused about why Ellipsis has avoided jail time for all the BS she has done to others, because it has to be criminal. See, that's the thing. There's a difference between civil and criminal. Doing misbehaving, you can get in trouble civilly, but she still keeps it within the law of not getting arrested for it. Now, on the other hand, they can't seem to stop getting red light tickets and traffic and speeding tickets, but that's a different story. they constantly are getting those because they can't slow down, and they like to run red lights for whatever reason. Like, it's amazing to me. Tizzy makes me want to explore Muppet Love. Well, it should, Stephen. It should. Because Tizzy's pretty damn awesome. If you hadn't seen Tizzy, it's really good stuff. But I do have something else I want to show you tonight because I can, because that's the kind of person that I am. And I'm going to give a big shout out to Shara, because this is going to be coming from Shara. It is her video. So I will be showing this to you guys here shortly. Give me just a second. Yes. I thought I had it pulled up, but apparently I did not. And this right here is going to be, give me a second. I'll get there. All right, here we go. And I have seen this, but not with you guys. So give me just a second. I'm going to pull it up, and we're gonna discuss this here a little bit tonight. Hold on just a second. I'm about to cough. All right. Sorry about that. I was doing something in the background. I've updated the video. We're going to be watching this right here. It's not muted. I haven't started playing it yet. Sound of silence. No, I had myself muted on purpose. I was updating the video. Yes. Shizzy froze. Shizzy didn't freeze. But, no, you're not deaf. You're not deaf. All right, here it comes. Huh? If I could hit the damn play button, that would work. I'm trying to hit the play button on StreamYard. That's why it's not working.
Welcome. You are listening to Sunshine Time. My name is Shara Wolf. I have a very, very special interview tonight with Miss Jamie Starr. And I am so thankful that she is here. She is very, very brave. And I want to welcome her here with us this evening. I also want to welcome the public. I believe without the public, there would be a lot more injustice. So the public is always welcome here.
That's right.
We are going to get into it. We are going to turn back the clock and we are going to find out how did Miss Jamie Starr wind up in Otter Creek? How did I wind up covering the Otter Creek story, Otter Creek and the Golden Key? And how did MP wind up in Otter Creek on the same street as a famous YouTuber, Mr. Jeremy Hills? These are questions that will be answered tonight, and we will provide evidence on subjects discussed at the end of the video. And we
That
are
evidence is
grateful
pretty
to everyone that's
good.
here. Please get a fluffy, cozy pillow and get comfy.
Oh, yeah.
We should be going about an hour and a half, maybe a little longer. And get your favorite drink. I don't know what you drink. Maybe a tall.
Drink water. Drink water. Drink lots of water.
Know where I am. We're going to talk very briefly on how you and I met. I was covering a standoff. It was in 2018. And that I met you in a courtroom, didn't I? A courthouse.
You sure did.
So the first time I ever met you was not online or anything like that. You and I met in a courthouse. And then we both had the same issue with the same, we went viral, obviously, with the standoff. Both of us did. And people were making videos of us around the world. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then came the trolls.
Oh, and the trolls always come. Now, since this has been released, they've come out, the little fleas have come out and said that Jamie is a drug addict, that she's got all kinds of mental issues and things like that. Need to have a good night. Well, thank you very much, Grant. The kids taxi. You get some rest. I'll be on tomorrow, and I'm not going to go for the full hour and a half. Anyone with half a brain knows these are low life schematics. Can I say that? You can say all kinds of stuff here, believe it or not. We allow things to be said here, and it's not that we're really worried about them, because we see some crazy stuff all the time happening. But since Shar has released this, since she released this with her only part one of her video, they started coming out and calling them all kinds of disparaging things as much as they possibly can, talking about issues that may or may not be there, and really trying to tear down any credibility that they have. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate you. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button before you head out. It's absolutely fine if you have to leave and get some sleep. But they have tried everything to make both of these young ladies look like they're liars, that they're doing horrible things. Thank you, Mr. John Dewey. Hey, Shizzy popping up. Thank you, Miss Sparkles. I appreciate it.
And the more I defended you, the more they got on me. And they really were digging into you. It was horrible.
I lost a lot from that.
But with all of that, we had a moment of fame, obviously, when it happened.
Right.
And it was just a big case around the world. And with that, a lot of attention came into your life and a lot of people.
Well, and this is how it comes about, where Lynette got involved with Jamie Starr. She's given a little bit of a layout here of how this was all brought about, how those connections happened, because that's the thing, that you'll see that as people like Jeremy have grown, there's been quite a bit of people that have tried to attach themselves onto Jeremy to boost themselves. And whenever Jeremy says, okay, well, go do your thing, and doesn't give them the kind of promotion that they were looking for, that they tend to get very angry. They tend to get very upset. There's a difference between giving someone a shout out and doing all the work for them. It's really hard until you've been in the YouTube for a while and you've done this and seen these kinds of things happen. You'll see that, and I will say there was somebody back early on that wanted to be a mod, create a Discord channel for me. And I really had no interest in creating a Discord channel. I don't spend enough time. I have a full-time job. I can't take time out to hang out in Discord and chit chat as much as I would love to. I mean, there's people that'll see me pop up on Facebook. A lot of times I'm doing research and they'll message me, and sometimes I respond. Sometimes I'm not able to. Sometimes it might just be a thumbs up, but I really don't have as much time as I wish I did, because it might be middle of the day, something pops in my head. I'm doing a quick search for something, and it's just, I don't have time to as much time as I would love to be able to spend with everybody. I mean, even Max could tell you that. Max has messaged me, before and said, hey, did you see this? And, sometimes there'll be a thumb up and I'm just like, yeah, I'm really super busy at the time. I mean, if I do respond, I don't have much time to. And sometimes it might be something that I was looking for in the first place. That's why it's really, really cool whenever I get those messages. It's not like I'm trying to discourage anybody. It's just understand that most of the time I'm not involved. So this person wanted to create a Discord channel. And come to find out that one of the reasons they wanted to create this Discord is so they had control over the Discord, which meant I had no control over my content, over what I was talking about on Discord. They could freely kick people that they disagreed with. And it was something that I didn't know about. I didn't know that people would do this kind of stuff. I'd take everybody for, face value, and I just wasn't, I wasn't expecting that to happen. That Discord channel had multiple creators on there. I don't know what each one of their situations were, but it was almost like a chain effect. Whenever I left, everybody else left not too long after that. And I don't know what the purpose, their overall purpose was, but I heard that it was, it wasn't really good, and that they were known to do these kinds of issues. And they were, someone said, hey, I'm surprised you were able to, back out of that, because they're promising you the sun, the moon, the stars. And I was like, well, I mean, my channel is my channel. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful night. It's really interesting to me that whenever somebody does those kinds of things, you normally would think, oh, they're being nice or being kind. I mean, that's my default, is, that people don't have bad intentions. And it turned out that they did have bad intentions, because they wanted to create beef among other YouTube channels, to create drama that shouldn't have even been there, create arguments and discussions, and because they felt that certain things weren't moving along as they saw fit. So I've become very wary of joining groups like that, especially whenever they're led by anybody. So if you see that I don't join groups, or you send me a group invite and I don't join, that's generally why, because it's not my cup of tea. Not that I have any beef with anybody, I just don't generally do that. But here we go. We'll bring this back up.
So did somebody like suddenly pop up on your videos and write on your videos?
There's a consistent person, yes, that not only popped up, but then started talking to me.
Right. Would that be MP?
That would be MP.
And had you ever heard of her before she came onto your video when you had that moment of fame there?
No, absolutely not.
And did she seem very eager to get to know you and be part of your life at that time?
Absolutely. She was a friend, and she had helped me with the foundation a few times by sending us small amounts of money.
So she wasn't a friend before. She just made herself a friend when she saw your videos. She came into your videos, came into your life, and made herself your friend.
Yeah.
And see, like I said, you're not expecting anybody to do anything like that. It's someone comes in, you expect that, they're there to be friendly, and sometimes they're not. As we find out.
But you didn't know her before.
Nope.
Okay.
Not at all.
Now, I want to go from the beginning, but I want to just talk about this for a moment. The famous red sign that's in his videos, what is the name on that sign? What does it say on that sign where you went and posed and took pictures? How did you know about that sign when you arrived there? When did she take you to that sign, and what did she say, and how did that come about?
Well, I was already informed about JH. About the minute I got there.
In Northport?
In Northport.
Okay.
When I came to visit her in Northport to help her clean her house up.
Did she
was buying this other property.
Did she bring you there?
Yes, we went to see the property after she said she sealed the deal. And the drive-through was right there at the beginning of the road. So it was pretty immediately that we got out and took a picture next to the sign. She was so excited to see it. And it, of course, let me know that it was in all the videos and it was a famous sign.
Yes. And it was
relating to him. So
yes. Okay, so you did that first before you even arrived at the property.
Well, and Jen, that's absolutely the way that you would want to do that. Create a special Facebook email address just for your YouTube channel. I mean, it makes it a lot easier to manage if you're doing YouTube. Makes it, and it also gives you a lot of learning in the process. It is a good idea, Lady Jen.
Right, it was just a little bit ways down the road, but we stopped there first. Yeah.
Okay, and that's when the pictures took place.
Yes.
Did she want you to hop out of the car and take pictures?
I honestly don't recall.
Okay.
It's been a long time. I just know that we got out and took pictures. I would be assuming yes. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal to me.
Right, right. And this is before...
Oh, you're on a little bit of a drive. That seems like pretty normal kind of behavior. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit here.
Me if I didn't give her information because I didn't want it. I don't like to give people information. I don't feel right doing that. So I would try to be very polite to her. And I have those messages. I'm going to put some of that out there.
Yeah, I never knew that.
It's very interesting if you watch the rhythm in the I didn't even think or realize that she had written to me at that time. I kind of forgot until I went all the way back and I went and looked and I said, wow. And I could see the pattern in those messages. But it didn't alarm me at the time. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know any of this, obviously. I didn't even know who she was.
Right.
So I thought, okay, maybe she's somebody that is just a friend of hers, I really didn't think a lot of it at the time. Now, going back, looking at it, it's pretty alarming to me, what I see there.
Me too.
So, okay, so she wrote you on the video, she became your friend. When did you first, and I know it was before you met her, when did you first start hearing about the baby?
It was right before the baby was born.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that. She actually had sent, and I apologize, I can't find it, but she had sent me a picture of the mother pregnant.
Wow.
Some things come up in my mind as we're talking as well.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. And
that's okay. Yeah.
I recall that she also told me a story that they were, the biological mother was on drugs, and the baby would be born on drugs. And
interesting.
Yet.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. That's what she was saying right off the bat, that the mother was on drugs and that the baby was going to be born an NAS.
Right, and it was pretty quickly after that the baby came.
Yeah.
And it is my understanding that she took the baby home.
Yes, she did.
From the hospital. All I know is she said she was adopting the baby. She asked me to be the godmother and would send me pictures periodically. I have many, many pictures of the baby from not only when I was there, but before and after Northport. She would send me pictures and keep me updated, and we would talk as friends throughout that time.
Did she send you pictures?
Doesn't it seem like a little bit of a pattern? I'm just curious what you guys thought is on this. Does that not seem like a little bit of a pattern that you know, she sends out pictures, she keeps people updated on things that seem innocuous whenever you look at them on the surface. Well, folks, it's turned to beer o'clock here in New Zealand, so time to go have a good time. Have a good time, Jaws. Have a good time. So it's interesting to me whenever she's talking about this, that it looks like a little bit of a pattern of Lynette sending out pictures and updates and almost like too much information, like you're closer than you actually might, like more information than you probably want to know. I mean, on the outside, it just seems like you're being a really good friend and saying, hey, check this out. But on the other hand, roping her in. Right. Okay. So it's not just me that's noticing that just seems like she's almost giving like that love bomb of things where, you know, makes you feel like you're included and giving you some sort of attachment. So whenever, and it's very effective, because whenever you walk away from someone like this, you know, it leaves an empty spot where you had this closeness with something about them, but it wasn't permanent. Does that make sense? And it's why you'll see that a lot of women, whenever they're single and have kids, that they don't introduce the kids to this person that they're seeing the day of. I mean, it's not like they just bring this child in and say, hey, you know, I want you to meet my kids, because, you know, there's going to be some sort of attachment there. But it doesn't seem like that's the kind of person that she is. Seems like she would be first to bring the child up, because maybe the child is more interesting than she is. I'm guessing. I don't know for certain, but it seems like that becomes the most important thing, and there's an attachment that grows there. So get the child attached, and then it's hard for them to walk away. I mean, because you notice that's almost the bludgeon and the shield that she uses, where she's showing her child in all of everything. I mean, she goes so far as to create a YouTube channel about the child. So the child is the forefront of everything that she's talking about, but then it's all about me. It's not necessarily about the child, except to throw the child in there. And then as soon as you mention the child, then she wants to say, well, you're talking about my child, but you're the one bringing the child up. I'm referring back to the words that you said that came out of your mouth about the child. And that just seems odd to me. I'm sorry.
Pictures of her in the pictures, or just the baby?
I think there's both.
I would like, yes, if you could send any that has her, you know, I would like to see that. If it's very, very early on.
There is.
Before she had the baby, did she send pictures of her in the hospital by any chance?
Not that I recall, no.
Okay.
I don't believe so. It was after they were home.
When did she first ask you to be the godmother of the baby?
Sparkles.
It was immediately when she found out that she was going to get this baby
Yeah.
that she said was her miracle baby.
Yeah.
That she had been praying to God for so long. And at the time, I thought, well, that's great, you know.
Yeah.
Especially thinking that the mother was drugged out while she was pregnant. Of course, I was glad that the baby was not in that situation.
And I want to say,
Well, it makes me really interested. I mean, and it's probably none of my business, but it makes me wonder how did she meet this person? I mean, how did she meet the mother of the child? I mean, it just seems really strange to me because it doesn't seem like their circles would have crossed. Does anybody know about that? How that came about? How she met this person? I mean, did she just meet her in a grocery store and attach herself to this person? Or, I mean, what was the circumstances around that? On Facebook, she met the mother on Facebook. That just, I'm sorry, that just I'm not understanding how you can go from a complete stranger to knowing everything about them to taking a child or accepting a child in. I just don't understand how they met the mother. She found the grandmother Facebook in some support group. But so it's the grandmother? She became friends with the mother's mom on Facebook. She became friends with the mother's mom on Facebook. That just seems that seems weird. So she's I don't understand how that would come about. That just seems like a long way to get there. Having never met this person. So found the mom on Facebook. But why was the mom on Facebook? And why would the adoption come up? I mean, there's just not enough in there. Had custody of 2 or 3 other children. From what I heard, she also gave the mother rugs to keep her around. See, and that's what I mean. I don't know that's a fact. I mean, grandmother had siblings of the kid, and she was worried because the woman, PG again, LP said she would help, and grandmother couldn't take any more. I mean, and I'm curious, where are you guys getting this information from? I mean, is this something that the mother said? I mean, is this something that the grandmother said? Is this something that Lynette said? Because I find Lynette to be very unreliable in these kinds of situations, or just about every situation. I mean, it's her reliability is on shaky ground there. Jeremy talked about it. Yeah, some of the info came from the biological aunts. Okay, that makes more sense. If that's that's somebody that's a little more verifiable. HG was 5th of 6 kids. Wow, HG's aunt on the show. Okay. Grandmother's on Facebook. Then she found out about the other kids the bio mother had, and she took the daughter away, and the family didn't know where the mother was. Didn't know the mother was the grandmother. Oh, wow, that's so crazy. A lot of it is truth. Rants LP some time ago. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it has. Like I said, this wasn't something I really looked into.
that we obviously don't have evidence that she was drugged out. This is something that was said to you.
Okay.
So we're not making that accusation at all toward the mother.
No.
I haven't spoken to the mother, so I haven't asked her side of the story, obviously,
Right.
at this time.
I know there was a story she told me that the mother was so disrespectful and was a problem, and that she had urinated on MP's couch right before the baby.
Do you know how long that can happen when you're pregnant and you're about to go in labor too? you can get
Rosalind did?
contractions,
Okay.
Beforehand, even days before, sometimes a couple of weeks before. You've been pregnant too, and that can happen. So I can't see that as being something that the mother did on purpose. Is that what she told you? Is that what she told you,
Yes.
that she did it on purpose, or it was an accident?
Absolutely. No, it was absolutely on purpose.
Did she?
She was
Well, she
angry.
said that. She said that she did it on purpose.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that she did.
She said that.
Okay.
Correct. That was alleged by her.
Do you know how long the mother was staying with her? I know that MP got her there. She brought her there. But did she
Correct.
say anything to you about bringing her there? Did she say, oh, I'm going to bring the mother here, and what her plans were? Any of that part of it?
Not really. She just stated that the mother would be living with them until the baby was born.
Do you know how
Ensure
long?
that she wasn't using. I honestly
To ensure
it's been
that she
so
wasn't
long.
using? Well, if she was ensuring that
Yes.
if she was ensuring that she wasn't using, how would the baby be born drug addicted?
Right.
And that's
But,
not
well-
happened.
well-
She immediately brought the baby home.
There's a different part of the story that you're probably not aware of.
Yeah,
And
me
I'm not
neither.
going to break that part of it right now because I think it's important that I have evidence with it when I do it, and it probably
Correct.
shouldn't be now. But
Oh, well, get us that evidence, Shara, because I want to see what evidence she's talking about. Maybe it's because, and I understand. See, this is how somebody that's an actual journalist does their research. Is they come and they show the evidence of what they're saying. Shara's been really good about that. And if you haven't checked all of her stuff out, she's coming with receipts. Whenever she says something, she goes, I want to be sure that this is correct. It's not like she's just, and it also makes what she's saying sound a little more valuable. I mean, it carries a lot more weight.
I do want to say that I'm privy to information that was given to me by MP as to why there were drugs involved, who fed them to the mother, and I'm not going to say more, and please don't go anywhere with that. But do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
I have information on that, and I found that to be the most alarming thing in this situation, because if a child is born and they're showing any drugs obviously in their system and CPS is involved, you know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What if
Absolutely.
CPS is not going to let that baby go home with the mother,
No.
the birth mother,
Correct.
the bio mother? But if somebody were to drug the mother or get drugs into the mother's system, feed the mother drugs, knowing the mother is pregnant, that person would know that baby would have an issue at the birth with drugs, right?
Correct.
And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to drive past that right now, but I'm just putting that out there. I've been given information that I'm at this
Welcome,
time I'm
Gloria.
not going further with it, but it's very alarming to me.
That's very sad.
It's very alarming.
Alarming. Yeah.
So her
To a very
It's sisterhood.
meaningful
Okay.
Yes.
and long. I mean, it's been
many
what,
years.
6 years.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
And if I'm skipping, it's because I'm looking for something interesting here. Not that it's not interesting, but I think there's a couple of other things.
I would have never been.
You
able to-
would have been in prison, which is scary.
Yeah.
But here's the thing
Yeah.
I want to say. In all the years I've worked with you, and you have watched me in your cases, not only in your cases but in other cases, I work with a lot of people, and I do have people that I've worked in their cases, getting their discovery files and everything.
Yeah.
And there are some people that have never once lied to me in
Yep.
cases. You, Miss Jamie, are one of those people that every single record I collected matched up to every single thing you said, right down to every little detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm quiet, I watch, I observe, I collect, and
Correct.
I talk when I need to. I don't talk when I don't need to. And
Correct.
you are very much that way. So I found that to be a little different in MP's case, and I'm obviously not going to get into the details why, because that's something that comes with evidence.
Yeah.
Things didn't match up for me, and I want to know if you feel betrayed in any way, if you feel kind of shocked about some things that happened to you in this case that you didn't expect.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you feel like you were misled, or do you feel like do you look at yourself and think, how did I miss that, or anything like that? Because that's what I'm doing. I kick myself a lot.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I've been one of the only people in all of this that has actually spent time, a longer length of time with that friendship, as well as the visit. Spent time in their home for 4 or 5 days. I don't recall the first time I was there. Maybe it was a week.
Yeah.
And then spent 2 months. on
Yes,
the
you did.
property
That's
and
a
all
lot
the
of
things.
time. You and I actually have a lot of things that I collected that we've never aired. which one day we need to revisit some of that because it is amazing, amazing stuff. We will visit that in the future.
I agree.
Brenda, are you angry? Oh, Brenda, people should stop lying. You're running your mouth. The doctor said they take good care of the child. Everyone should just shut up. Brenda. Now I'll address you personally because you seem to have a little bit of an issue. And this is for you, Brenda, just so you can completely understand. People can talk about this case as much as they want to. They have the right and the ability to question every single thing about it. Now, if you don't like the way that people question it, then you can go ask those questions yourself. See, you have to understand something about all of us fine people here. And all of my chat has been completely respectful. But for some reason, you've got this issue. I don't know what it is. It could be because you haven't been following this case, or you've been listening to things that aren't true. Or you could be just angry that there's people out there lying. But Brenda, you don't need to be angry. No need to be mad. The doctors, the lawyers, all of the people that are knowledgeable about it will do everything that they possibly can as professionals. And so whenever you come in here and start saying things that are completely nonsensical and the misspelling's way off, it gets really interesting to me that you might have issues with this channel or the things that people talk about. And it's okay if you don't like the things we talk about, but, look at the proof that we provide, and then ask yourself, what proof do they provide on the other side of this? What kind of proof are you seeing that's coming from Flea? What kind of proof are you seeing that's coming from Bubbles? What proof are you seeing that's coming from convicted felons, disbarred attorneys, sanctioned attorneys? What proof are you seeing? Are you seeing, because, and the reason I address this is because I see these kinds of people should just be nice. Well, of course, Brenda, people should be nice, but you have to remember that whenever we're talking about cases, we have every right to question things. And look at the proof that's being shown. And whenever you start seeing the proof that's being shown, it makes you start questioning, where did that money go? Where has the hundreds of thousands of dollars gone that was supposed to go to Lynette? Where did that money disappear to? And if you say, well, there wasn't that much money raised, where's the receipts that much money wasn't raised? And as you'll see, that money all of a sudden became not Lynette's, not for the child, but it became Fleece's money. See, this is where it gets really interesting. Because whenever you start putting these pieces together and you start seeing the other side of the story, and you lose the hate and the anger and the disparagement that you have towards other people, you start questioning. And if you question that group over there, they'll block you, they'll ban you, they'll remove you from it. Whenever you start showing receipts, it makes them very angry. Their own lies are what's doing it to them. But it's okay. Well, you might have, Stacy, you may have her blocked because, that's sometimes whenever you find people annoying, you tend to mute them. But it's okay, Brenda. It's okay. You're still welcome here anytime you want to be. Same way with any of the other lurkers that are on the side with Fleesa. Just question the motives. Me, I just like covering this stuff because I find it's interesting. But I don't get angry. If you want to see me angry, come after my family, and yeah, that'll tend to make people a little bit angry. Think about how many times I've doxed any of these people. 0. As a matter of fact, I try to go out of my way not to show their addresses. I go out of my way not to bring up their family, bring up their kids. But they have made it a point to bring up other people's children, because that's become their big money-making grift. So take that for what it's worth. I don't care. It's pretty easy.
Sure.
Yeah. So the beginning, we covered the beginning, how you met her. You met her. She came onto your video. She was kind of showering you with gifts,
Yes.
sending you money to your foundation, wrapping her arms around you, loving you, filling you with love, making you the godmother of her child that she didn't even have yet, because it was right before you went there and she had the baby. It was around the birth that she made you the godmother, or right before that.
Correct. Correct.
And you hadn't met her. So then came the first visit. She invited you to Northport, correct?
Yes, for specific reasons.
And what year would that have been? Would that have been the same year as you went to the Otter Creek property?
No. I was about a year into the online virtual friendship.
Yes.
And I was invited. She wanted to get her house ready to sell.
That would be, that's the same visit. It actually is. Let me refresh your memory. That would be 2021.
Yeah.
And that would have been July that you went to her Northport home.
Yes.
Would have been July 2021. And now you're going to tell me the rest of that story. But that is connected to the Otter Creek visit, because you visited during that visit, Otter Creek.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So that is your very
when I
first.
was in Northport,
Yes.
I visited Otter Creek with her.
Okay. So the very first time you met her was after the baby was born, and you were already the godmother, and did she bring you there? How did she get you there?
She did. She paid for a plane ticket for me to go there,
Wow.
and a plane ticket for me to go home. She said if I needed anything while I was.
Oh, wow. Nice. Heather May 4J. All real questions, Shizzy. You're either speaking directly to someone who has many identities, or to someone who, as you said, has not done their due diligence or follows someone who hasn't. Well, that's very, very big possibility. I mean, that's why I brought that up, is because it is quite important to understand that, these kinds of things, that Jamie spent quite a bit of time around Michelle, quite a bit of time. They had more than just a couple of conversations. They were in each other's lives quite a bit. So what she's saying is, and you have to understand that Jamie gains nothing from this. I mean, think about this. What does Jamie gain from all of this? I mean, she's been very quiet, hasn't spoken out on it, but she's been very vocal in stating things that have been coming out as a lie. And, it's I believe that letter from the doctor was fake. Sharon is my theory as well. I have my theories behind that also. Whether it is or not remains to be seen. I mean, there's a lot of inconsistencies with it. I mean, it's amazing that she'll bring these kinds of letters up, but nobody to actually verify it. And I'm not saying that they have to break any sort of violations. I'm just saying it makes it really interesting to me whenever I see these kinds of letters. The proof all of a sudden shows up and is shown widely. But then whenever you have the things that disprove it, you can actually read the court filings. They're very hesitant to show those court filings. Have you noticed that as much as they like to talk about how horrible that shock it is and all this kind of stuff, that they never actually show the filings? They won't read through the filings. They only want to read through things that are irrelevant to the case. They want to bring up Jeremy's divorce. Like, we all know divorces are horrible. We all know things are horrible for it. For adoption, yeah, I mean, it could be. I don't know. I mean, I don't know all the situation around that. Those are usually sealed. Jamie isn't requesting donations, asked to be paid to talk to Shara, isn't asking to be paid to investigate things as journalists like others have. Oh, absolutely not, Rachel. That's absolutely right. Very, very, very noticeable on that Shara hasn't asked for anything. She's not running a funding campaign to raise money to cover things. The money that she spends is on her own. I thought you meant for narcissists. And that's a very valid point, that Jamie isn't gaining anything out of this. It's not, she's talking from experience of things that she saw. And I do remember a little bit ago that Rosalind had a guest on that is I guess former stepchild or stepchild of LP's. And she had she was able to fill in quite a few blanks. And I think that set them off really, really, really well also. She had quite a bit to say, giving a little bit of timeline of what she knew. She also even says, I was a young child, so there's certain things that I didn't know. I mean, I could look back and see like behavior, but I wasn't involved in their finances. I had no idea what was going on if there were court cases against them. That wouldn't have been something that she would have known anything about. Those aren't things that typical families bring up. I mean, my parents, whenever they divorced, I don't know all the details of what actually happened in the divorce. I mean, I'm sure I could go look up that information if I wanted to, and I could have asked my father, but he's no longer on this planet. So not that he's an astronaut or anything, he's dead. I'm sure I could have asked him, and he would have been willing to hand over all those documents, and it would have probably been pretty nasty stuff that was being said. And probably nasty stuff that went back and forth. Jamie was maligned and slandered, just like the Hales, Megan, Tug, Shizzy. Well, see, as much as they want to talk about me, they don't realize that they've got nothing. As much as they want to come and try to say horrible things, they don't have anything. It's like okay. Says, well, Shizzy drinks. And he drinks to excess. No. As if I drink to excess, I don't think I would be able to remain doing this kind of stuff that I do. I do quite a bit of work behind the scenes that they don't see. If you don't see me for a couple of days, it's because I'm tired, not because of any long-term effects of anything. It's just, I'm old. I get tired. What I find very interesting is how LP was approved for the adoption based on her being on disability for a bad back and other issues she may have. Being on disability doesn't provide the money needed. I don't know. See, I don't know all the situations on that because I wasn't there. I mean, I can speculate. Doesn't make it right or wrong. It would all be a speculation. You'll be on Replay Crew tomorrow. Well, thank you, Sandy D. And, you guys make sure you hit that thumbs up as you come in, as you go out. It's a beautiful place to be. And, you know what? I forgot. I think I'm about to wrap it up here because I'm starting to get that sleepy eye, and I'll probably be doing a stream tomorrow morning. And then I have another one with Mo in the Deep End. I think it's about time for a letter. What do you guys think? Nice little letter. Give you guys a good one. I think. Let me see if I've got it here. It should be, what is it? This file. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be. Let me see here. I am going to pull this thing up, and I believe I have an open letter. Yes, I do. And this is a wonderful open letter. And if you know how it goes, there is no helmet anymore. The helmet's gone. It has been sent. It's on its way. You know where it's going, and soon you will see it come up for auction. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to promote the hell out of it whenever I'm told that it's there. Good night, Shelley. You have a wonderful night. So here it comes, the thing that you've been waiting for all night, the joy among joys, the fun.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
An open letter. The art of the spiral. How Lips turns truth into theater. There's a certain kind of personality that doesn't argue facts so much as they bend atmosphere. They don't win a debate, they fog the room until no one remembers what the debate was about. Lips, as a symbol, is that shapeshifter, the figure who can turn contradiction into sympathy and sympathy into leverage, all while insisting that everyone else is unhinged. What do you call it when confusion itself becomes a strategy? When misunderstanding is cultivated like a crop. It begins innocently enough, a story half told, a detail softened for context, a wound displayed before the blood is even dried. The performance is never about truth, it's about attention. Because attention is control, and control, when you have none internally, is the only stable currency. The cycle feeds itself: provoke, recoil, accuse, retreat, rinse, and repeat. Each loop tighter than the last, until the only stable point in the room is the chaos she claims to fear. Lips doesn't lie outright. She edits. She curates fragments of reality, arranges them like props, and then stands center stage as if the play was written by fate. The words twist because they must. The truth has edges, but her story has to say soft enough for you to swallow. Every correction becomes an attack, every contradiction a smear. It's theater. But the audience is unpaid and unwilling, and yet they stay, hoping that maybe this time she'll break character and just speak plainly. She never does. What's fascinating is exhausting is how she converts scrutiny into validation. The critic becomes the proof of her persecution. The very existence of pushback is framed as abuse. She doesn't want silence, she needs resistance to survive. Without opposition, the story dies. So she manufactures conflict like oxygen, claiming self-defense even as she builds the next fire. Is it self-preservation? Or is it simply just habit at this point? Watch closely and you'll see the transitions, the wounded professional who suddenly becomes the misunderstood friend, the helpless victim who reappears a day later as a crusader for truth. Each role is believable for about 3 minutes, just long enough to erase what came before. Memory becomes elastic. Yesterday words never happened, or if they did, you misunderstood, and maybe you start to doubt yourself, which is precisely the point. Confusion is control's quiet twin. The art of the spiral isn't about speed. It's about keeping others off balance. Lips spins narratives the way that people spin plates, frantic, dazzling, impossible to maintain. When one falls, she gestures wildly at another, pointing out a scratch that wasn't there, insisting you're focusing on the wrong one. And because decent people tend to explain themselves, she wins time. Time is all she needs to rewrite just what happened. In the end, her greatest performance is convincing others that her chaos is accidental, but if you look closely, the pattern is way too consistent. The exits too well placed, the tears too timely. The tragedy always arrives right on cue, and it's not madness, it's choreography. Maybe the only real question left is this: how long can someone perform sincerity before they forget what it actually feels like? When every crisis is rehearsed, every apology transactional, what's left of the person behind the show? And perhaps that's the cruelest twist of all. What's that beneath all the manipulation, there might be someone who no longer remembers where the act ends. And so the curtain falls again and again on the same scene, the audience weary, The actor triumphant, and the truth buried under applause she demanded but never earned. The spiral isn't confined to one performer. It's contagious. Others pick up her rhythm, drawn in by the adrenaline of chaos disguised as connection. Before long, everyone's improvising their own act, counter-accusations, self-defense monologues, rehearsed heartbreak. It becomes an ecosystem of insecurity. How do you reason with someone who feeds on argument itself? How do you end a show that no one admits is scripted? There's a strange gravity to that kind of performance. The longer you watch it, the more you start to forget your own lines. You question your tone, your intent, your sanity. It's kind of psychic erosion, slow, polite, and efficient. Every exchange is a negotiation of meaning, and by the end, you're no longer sure what those words mean at all. Maybe that's the point. If she can't be right, she can at least make sure no one else feels certain. You have to remember that Lips thrives in fog. Transparency terrifies her because it steals the stage lightning. Truth is too quiet. It doesn't make her the center of the frame, so she'll frame herself instead, in crisis, in pain, in redemption, again and again and again. The scenery changes, the audience rotates, but the theme remains constant. The misunderstood genius battling the cruel world that won't let her heal, and somehow there's always a new opening night. She doesn't just distort reality, she sentimentalizes it. Each grievance gets a monologue, every correction a tremble in her voice. Theatrics replace logic. The question becomes not what happened, but who do you feel for? She wins not by evidence, but by exhaustion, because empathy in the wrong hands is just another kind of leverage. What makes her so effective is that she mixes just enough truth into every distortion to stay believable. The half-right detail, the almost fact, the name dropped out of context. It's how she stays anchored while still drifting. People trust fragments that sound familiar, even when the whole picture is a painting of smoke. She builds castles from coincidence and then calls them proof. Underneath all the performance, though, is something more fragile. Fear, not of losing an argument, but of being irrelevant. Irrelevant is death to the storyteller whose identity is tied to reaction. That's why she must keep inventing those crises to stay seen, to stay discussed. Every calm moment feels like an erasure. So peace becomes unbearable. Maybe the only thing more terrifying than being misunderstood is being forgotten. And when the spiral finally starts to collapse, when the audience gets tired and the mirror starts to crack, she'll call it betrayal. Not introspection, not consequence, betrayal. Because admitting authorship of her own downfall would mean losing the role she's rehearsed the longest, the one where she is the victim of everyone else's misunderstanding. In that story, she's always surrounded by villains and never by the mirror. The irony is that the spiral feeds on sympathy. Every time someone tries to help, they step onto the stage themselves, and the story resets. There's no winning, only withdrawal. And withdrawal is the only act that breaks the cycle. Silence to her is the only true insult. So maybe the lesson isn't about her at all. It's about us, about how easily we mistake volume for truth and vulnerability for virtue. How quickly we reward spectacle with belief, because honesty, real honesty, is awkward and unperformed. Maybe the real spiral isn't hers, but ours, the one that keeps us turning in, waiting for a resolution that never comes. Because in the end, every Lips is out there is only as powerful as the audience that she manipulates. The show collapses when the crowd walks away, and when the lights finally dim, the echo of her last monologue fades. What remains isn't victory. It's the quiet she spent her entire life avoiding. Shizzywhiznut, the helmet wearing, no more. Crayon-eating fool that's still sitting in the cheap seats, taking notes while everyone else is trying to find the exit. And almost definitely, who's your daddy?
It is
time. Let's break this mother down with Shizzywhiznut.
Thank you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you have a wonderful night. You get yourself a little bit of rest. Feel better if you're feeling ill. I want you guys to be happy and healthy and have a wonderful, wonderful week. I mean, this next week is going to be crazy. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Stacy. It is. I have found there's something to be said about, you know, some of my letters are good. Some of my letters are really good. Some of them are, and I've started doing a little more introspection on some of them and hoping that they just improve. It's a me thing. What can I say? I no longer have the helmet. It's gone. It is. I've taken the R-tard helmet and tossed it to the side, and I hope that it'll find a wonderful, wonderful home, and also help some people out in the process. I thank all of you guys for coming out, spending your Sunday evening with me, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the morrow. I will be with Mo over here tonight, or not yet tonight, but tomorrow night I'll be over here with Mo. We'll be going over some more court documents in the Twin Flames universe stuff. It's gonna be interesting. It's sort of ramping up on those court documents, and hopefully we find out some more information about what's going on there. If you don't see me tomorrow morning, it's just because I'm tired and I didn't get enough sleep last night. So if you don't see me set up a stream, it's because I got really exhausted from all the work that I do behind the scenes that you don't get to see. Thank you guys so much for having a wonderful weekend with me, and I look forward to next week. It's going to get wild. I hope you enjoy yourselves. Peace, everyone. Peace.
Oh, you thought I was done, bless your heart, but I'm still living rent-free, it's a work of art. Call me daddy, call me nut, call me the goat. You're paddling upstream while I'm running this boat. You say, I don't care, yet you're glued to the screen, caught up in my glow while you stay unseen. Your shade's like a breeze, it's barely a draft. Meanwhile, I'm the Picasso of roasting your ass. You say you're over me, oh how cute, but here I am, still the star of your loop. You're my biggest fans, don't even deny, so grab some popcorn when daddy goes live. Live. Call me daddy, yeah, shout it loud. King of your thoughts, I'm making you proud. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, headline act. Your background noise, and that's just a fact. Let's face the score. You hate that you love me, but you keep wanting more. You're like a dog chasing cars, you don't know why. But here you are, barking while I touch the sky. Your comments are gold, such comedy gold. Who hurt you? Oh wait, it's me, I'm told. You're keeping tabs like an unpaid intern while I'm cashing checks. When will you learn? Your timeline's a shrine to every move I make. I'd say thanks, but you're a nasty skank. Oh, Shizzy's washed up. Yeah, sure, Jan, yet here I am, the centerpiece of your plan. You hate watch my stream like it's Oscar night, but guess what, kiddos? I'm still shining bright. Call me daddy. Send in your bread, I'm still rent-free in your effing head. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy on your brain. I'm your mental landlord, you can't complain. Let's keep it real. You hate that I'm winning, but you love how it feels. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your streak? You tried to ignore me for like half a week, but daddy's too spicy, you can't look away. I'm the train wreck you need every single day. So while you're out there with your plastic clout, I'm here sipping coffee watching you freak out. You're irrelevant, wow, what a take. Now go rewatch my vids while I count how much I make. I count how much I make. Call me daddy, yeah, own it now. I'm reading your brain and you don't know how. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, let's at the bar. I'm the constellation, you're a burned out star. Embrace your role, cause I'm the main character. You're just an old ragged ass, burned out troll. So that's your bedtime story, kids tucked in sweet and snug. Shizzy Daddy's forever, you lose and you're stuck in the mud. Now say goodnight to Papa Nut, your mental pain. Oh wait, you will see me tomorrow's agenda, will see me tomorrow. Same obsession, same effing thing.